And welcome back to day 4 of just getting started in EVE Online. We're going to start doing the Enforcer missions today. We'll be able to get through all 10 of them pretty quick. It's not hard to get through these missions. And for the most part, you'll be given all the items you need to complete these missions. You can upgrade a little bit to make it easier. Sometimes you'll need to warp off to repair, but to start with, the basic Corvette works. Now, the default fit can work with whatever you've got in your cargo. You can upgrade, but this is not a difficult mission. Just your basic blaster or whatever weapon is your default for your faction should work. I'm just going to kind of throw in whatever I've got. Don't really feel like buying anything new. Once again, on the left side, if you're tracking the missions, you can easily just hit the warp button and it'll warp you right to the site, or right click in space and go through the drag menus. Just rereading the mission parameters. Don't forget to do your daily goals. It's a great way to earn XP and some extra cash. Or not XP, they don't have XP in this game. It's a way to get skill points. Set your orbit, make sure your range is in there. Lock these guys down and blast them out of the sky. They do drop loot. It's usually just scrap metal, but every little bit adds up, especially early on in the game. Unless you have a wonderful patron who will give you some money. Which, I got multiple accounts, so I have some money I can spend. And once again, message me in game. Let me know if you're new to the game, returning to the game, or even a veteran player. I'm always interested to hear what you have to say. Leave comments below if you've got some suggestions for future videos you might like to see. Meanwhile, we're just gonna keep knocking these little rats out of the sky, complete the mission, and go ahead and loot all these cargo wrecks. I'm doing this battle at normal speed so you can kind of get an idea how long these missions will take. Future videos future battles I'll just kind of edit at a faster pace so we can get through it a little quicker. I'd also like to remind you that if you haven't gotten your million free skill points, click my link in the description below if you're a new player, or even a returning player who's never gotten the free points before. It helps me, helps you, and yeah. So we finished looting. I could salvage. You can do that. I have a salvager. You can target it, but I'm not going to take that time right now. Head back to the dock. Turn that mission in. Doesn't get much easier than that. But remember, these are just training missions. The other missions later in the game, if you're playing storyline stuff, will become a little more difficult. You'll have to have good vids, but we can discuss that in future videos. On to mission 2. Kill some more pirates, or as everyone in the game refers to them as rats. Don't forget to claim your air rewards as you do these. It's free ISK. Alright, we're in high speed. Simple kill and return. It's just 3 hostiles. Knock them out, target, orbit, and kill. Quick and easy. Warp back to your station, turn that mission in, and get ready for the next one. Next mission, it's a simple kill and retrieve mission. They'll even give you the weapons necessary to equip your ships. I'm upgrading this ship a little stronger weaponry, but as I jump into this mission, you'll see here in a second, it didn't quite go as planned, so I will actually switch to a frigate instead of just using this Corvette. Makes the mission much easier, but you'll see. Just watch. Go ahead and click that warp to site button. You want to kill anything webbing you as quickly as possible. In this case, they're just drones, so they take a little longer to lock up, but they slow your ship down and just make it easier for the enemies to hit you. The sooner you take out that Weber drone, the better, but this time is not a huge deal. I will eventually take it out, but I take everyone else out first. And that's done. It automatically puts the secret documents into your cargo bay. So you can go ahead and warp back, dock up, and turn in the mission, and get ready for the next mission. Next mission, another straightforward mission. It's just a little recon mission. I'll make sure you got the right overview up, because right now I have all and I can't really see who I'm looking for. But in this mission, you just fly right into the Smuggler Stargate. Once you get close enough, the mission's over. So there wasn't anything for me to see on my overview, but had there been someone to attack me, I wouldn't necessarily have seen it. We'll go ahead and kill some more pirates. We'll run to the outpost. Go ahead and equip that civilian EM hardener. Anything that says civilian is pretty much garbage, but these are training missions. You might as well just use them. They don't require any skills to really use. But this one I'm getting tracking disrupted. No big deal. And that's it. And on to the next mission. Just destroy a complex. Sometimes these can take a while if you have really big complexes. Sometimes in the missions, killing them give you some good stuff. Sometimes they're not worth the time. So when in doubt, just Google the mission name and you'll find something through Google that will give you what the loot is for destroying structures and missions. Most of the time it's not worth it, but sometimes you can get some good stuff. On most missions you'll have acceleration gates. You just kind of warp to them. Fortunately it doesn't let you set up to kite real fast if you're a distance person, but it doesn't always put you in immediate danger. You usually have time to get out. In this case I'm still in the Corvette, so I'm going to have a little bit of difficulty with these guys. You see how quickly my shields go down. I'm like, ooh, this is not good. So I'm going to go ahead and warp back to station. And that's my fault. I really don't have anything to repair with. That's an active shield. Not an active shield repair, but an active resistance where it'll reduce your resistance to a particular damage type. But this time I decided to enter into this first frigate that I got earlier, the Battle Shrimp as it is commonly referred to, the Visium. Looks like a shrimp. We'll go ahead and strip the fittings from the other ship and load them onto here. Make life a little bit easier. I'll do a little more damage output and it'll make things a lot more safer. And I shouldn't die. I mean, I still have room. I could outfit it a little better. When in doubt, go to like Eve Workbench and you can pull up different ship fittings that might help you. There's a lot of junk fittings on there too, but it will help you. You'll see. I should knock this one out pretty quick now. Sometimes it's fun to take the view of the guy you're shooting and watch the ships fall apart. Everyone's dead. Now we go loot the few ships that had loot on them. Go ahead and hit the Nexus acceleration gate. So we'll go ahead and target these guys. We'll eventually have to destroy that structure, but I wasn't paying attention. I kept bumping off things, so I started taking a lot of damage. Warped out, dock up, repair, and repeat. It's not the end of the world. It sucks if you lose a ship, but it's much easier to warp out when you can. We're back to the site and try this again. Now, you won't get new spawns in these sites if you warp out. Whatever's dead will already be dead. Some of the units will repair themselves a little bit, so you'll see maybe their shields will always come back. But if I already took people into the armor, then the armor will be done. Those guns really were hitting me for a fair amount of damage. I'm not sure why I had the all in my overview. I should have, see, bounced off the asteroid again. I really should have it on my PvP settings. Now I took that overview from Loru's character. If you haven't checked out Loru's stuff, he's got more advanced mid-game and late-game tactics, as well as some new bro-friendly stuff. If you look up Loramurth Sunstrider, in his character description, he has the loadout for you. I'm going to work on putting that same loadout into my character description as well. So if you look me up, you can find it and just copy it in. It's pretty straightforward. When you click the link, it asks if you want to import it. I've adjusted mine a little. I've added things and taken a couple things off, but for the most part, it's the same overview. Mission 7. And these are pretty much all kill missions. Now they give me a nice repair. That will come in handy. Big thing is these active repair units use your capacitor. You can consider a capacitor like a mana bar and like other MMOs. As long as it stays charged up, you can use your weapons. And with the MR, because they use lasers, they tend to need more capacitors, so it is possible to get your capacitor neutralized out. So you got to be extra careful when playing MR to make sure your cap's stable, or not using things that will lower your cap too fast in the middle of a battle. But beginning missions, we really don't need to worry about it too much. And you've got your little hostile counter to the left, letting you know for the mission how many people you've got left to destroy, which can come in handy for these type of missions because sometimes new ones will warp in and you'll see the numbers changed. Loot the few that are around here. Having an afterburner definitely helps quickly get to all the guys you killed because they can spread out as you orbit around things. Mission 8. I think all in all, to do the Enforcer missions took me like an hour and a half. Here we go. We're going to approach this building. Oh no, it's a trap. They blew it up on me and I almost lost most of my shields. And then you just warp out of there. It's designed that way. You won't die. But it's annoying. Alright, we'll check in. We're good here. Request the next mission. And you get a web from this one. Go back and destroy the narcotics warehouse. This one will take a little bit of time because it takes a while to destroy those warehouses. So I don't know who was trying to convo me, send me a private message. Sorry, Clendathu, I was ignoring you, but I'm trying to record and get some things done. A lot of times when you're in a new player area, people are trying to scam you or get you to join things. You just be careful. If you don't know who they are, you don't have to accept it. A lot of times they want to talk to you to do duels, which will destroy your ship if you duel. But dueling is part of the air missions, so it doesn't hurt to duel people, but I would duel people you trust. And obviously you don't want to duel somebody in a ship you don't want to lose. Can't pot anybody in a duel, but you will lose your ship unless you leave the dueling area. And you have a couple warp-ins, but you need to destroy that narcotics warehouse. But kill all these raiders, they give you a little bit of bounty. And I think a couple of them have loot, nothing special, usually just scraps. There's 3 or 4 waves, and then you're free to destroy the warehouse. And with the warehouse, you could just keep at range. If you try to orbit, you're just going to keep bumping into things. It doesn't take long to take down the warehouse. It doesn't have shields. It's just armor and structure. And we're on to our last Enforcer mission, which will grant you a Punisher. Nice ship to have. But we should be able to do everything in the Battle Shrimp. Now, I'm sure people are going to make fun of me for having the inertial stabilizers and the overdrive injector. I was just fitting the ship to fit the ship. You'll do want that stasis web. It will come in handy for the mission. And it's a couple jumps away, so I'm going to do some project discovery. Make sure you do those every day. You're limited to the number of times you can do it per day based on your skill points, but it is a way to just get a little extra ISK for yourself. Hit the acceleration gate, lock up all your targets, take them out, web them too when you're doing it. If you slow them down, it makes it easier to track them, and makes it easier to hit them. Lock target, web, and weapon. Next section, lock all my targets. Now, if you hold the control button and click all the targets you want to lock, it will lock up to your maximum number of targets. And I love these drone hives. They are so cool looking. Just be careful, because there's a lot of things you can collide with, and if you start colliding and bouncing off things, you lose speed, and then you make it easy to be hit. So I'm about to lose my shields, but I have an armor repairer. So you don't necessarily want to click it on immediately, but as you take damage, click it on. And, you know, pulse it if necessary, because it will burn out your capacitor. And the capacitor is the center thing in your circle reticle there at the bottom of the screen. When I get around to doing that interface video, I'll break that down for everybody, so keep an eye out for that video. Ooh, I just failed one of those discovery missions. You're basically just trying to block groups together. And that is it for the Enforcer missions. Doesn't take much, not real hard, but it gives you the basics of combat and how to run missions. And I'd like to thank you and remind you, subscribe now so my dog can have treats. The more subscriptions I get, the more treats he gets, and he loves his treats. Like, comment below, helps the algorithms recommend me more to people who are interested in this, and thanks for watching. As you can see, my dog loves watching things too. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.